For Christine Gauthier, the fight to get a wheelchair lift in her home has been an uphill battle.
I have to crawl down the stairs on my butt with the wheelchair in front of me to be able to access my house.
While pleading her case to a Veterans Affairs case manager over the phone in 2019, she was told something that would leave her feeling shocked.
If things are so hard at this point and you just can't keep going on, and you know we can assist you with aid to die.
And she's not the only one.
Ring! Ring! Hello, Hello, Canadian government here. Oh, howdy, about have problem with stair lift. Have you tried to tie rope around neck and jump off stairs? No? Why not? And that's literally the government policy right now in Canada. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke here of wearechange.org, and we have a plethora of just absolutely absurd and wild video footage to get into today, especially when it comes to developments here inside of the United States in China, which is looking like we can't really tell the difference more often now than not. This, as it looks like the Federal Bureau of Investigations is up to some very nefarious bad things that we're going to be explaining in this particular broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing right now, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is a real news clip from Global News in Canada, detailing the story of a disabled Canadian Army veteran that was reaching out to the government for help when it came to installing a stair lift, and the government told her to euthanize herself. Yep, that's the insanity that we are living in right now. We're going to put in the full report down in the description below so you could watch the full video in its entirety. But just so you know, these kind of insane, draconian, over-the-top, you are the carbon that they want to reduce stories are not just, of course, happening in Canada. They're also happening all over the other Western woke world, like in Germany, where the euthanasia group now demands you jump through hoops of compliance with the whims of government to take a medical procedure right before you're supposed to be euthanized. Yes, this type of insanity can only be described as a symptom of obviously weak men creating bad times, which there's definitely going to be a lot more of, since there's going to be a lot more weak men, as we have been documenting to you the larger decrease when it comes to male fertility and especially testosterone that has been going down in droves within the last few years. But according to the Avatar Hollywood movie director James Cameron, this is a good thing, as he has recently come out and very bravely regurgitated the same Hollywood agenda that has been regurgitated in almost every single movie and TV series within the last few years, and said that testosterone is, quote, a toxin that men must terminate from their system, which if they did, they would get a whole bunch of medical problems, along with, of course, with psychological problems, major serious life-threatening health issues that, of course, there's extreme difficulties from ever recovering from ever again. So yeah, a Hollywood director telling you to get rid of a natural hormone in your body that stimulates your kidneys to make bone marrow that produce red blood cells that affects your muscles and bone base is something that, of course, I'm not going to be taking medical advice from. You shouldn't either, as of course low-T men have led to a society where criminals are running loose. Police officers are afraid of even stopping them, like in New York City, where a man was randomly clubbed in the head with a baseball bat, and in Virginia, where of course an elementary school will now host an after-school Satan club. Yes, in Chesapeake, Virginia. Officials there say that they will not be discriminating against the satanic religion that will be officially offering the after-school Satan Club. And hey, you might as well make it official. Why not a field trip to the Bohemian Grove, where they do mock child sacrifices, or to Marina Abramovich's house? And in Virginia, a lot of this insanity is perpetrated more than ever, especially with the latest video of police officers from multiple jurisdictions going into a private business and shutting them down because they dared to not lock down during the last 2 years. Yes, you're hearing that correctly. Now, police officers in Virginia have raided a business for not locking down in 2020.
Actually been found to be detrimental to the community, but you're still going to shut a man's business down over that.
We're not here to discuss whether or not
You're not here to discuss whether or not they're unconstitutional. You're just here to do your job, right? The reason that we're in the situation we're in as the United States of America, you're part of the problem, sir.
Now, the actual details of what is going on here is a little bit more complicated to explain, as of course there was multiple court hearings surrounding this small business defying lockdowns all the way in 2020 and 2021. But it is true that this business is essentially being shut down for not following and going along with the previous draconian Chinese-style lockdowns of small enterprise by very powerful government officials that, of course, allowed Walmart to be open, but not small businesses. There's also a lot of people now saying that these police officers should face a boycott by local citizens who should not serve them for following these draconian orders. And, of course, there's been a huge backlash against this initial story since it's absurd that businesses have to be shut down for not complying with the wishes of government officials that were implementing policies that turned out to be a lot more detrimental to everyone than actually helpful. This, as still in the United States, if you're trying to enter and you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to comply with a procedure. If you're trying to join the military, you also need to comply with the procedure. This, as we're finding out that the sickness for this procedure, according to a scientist who worked at the Wuhan Institute of Virology inside of China, was actually made there. Yes, this is the New York Post reporting a major bombshell story a couple days ago, specifically interviewing a scientist who worked at that research facility in China and said that, of course, the virus that went around everywhere was man-made and did leak from the facility that he was working from. This is from the testimony from Andrew Huff, who is now blaming what he's calling the biggest U.S. intelligence failure since 9/11 when it comes to this particular event, and he's not wrong, as he described lax security, which according to him led to the leak. And I have a lot more to say about this. Was this a failure? Was this something else? Well, I have my own theory, which I could only share on LukeUncensored.com, our own broadcast, where we get to say and do whatever we want. A members area gets you a lot of exclusive perks, including merchandise only available for members, communication platforms where you guys get to talk to each member. There's a lot of you guys in there. 3 master classes that are definitely worth taking, and a plethora of information centered around helping you. Videos there almost every single day. Today's video is definitely going to be a banger and talking about something that we cannot discuss here on this broadcast. We're going to be discussing that plus a lot more, all exclusively on LukeUncensored.com later on today. And also, another way that you could support us is by checking out our t-shirt store, which is related to our main topic of discussion today, which we just released a t-shirt of that says, quote, Elon Musk didn't Epstein himself, which you could exclusively get on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, also linked down in the description below, which of course we did a full video on this channel, and we'll be continuing that conversation right now, as of course Elon Musk is reiterating that he will not be seeking end-of-life treatment from the Canadian or German government anytime soon. An easier way of saying that is that he won't be Epstein, as of course he's making a lot of big waves, specifically exposing corruption at the highest levels of the U.S. government. The FBI, that we're finding out, lied on record and invented some kind of hack and leak operation in order to censor a story that made this current regime, this current administration, look bad. They made sure that that story didn't get out there to the general public by specifically having weekly meetings with big tech social media companies. Twitter was one of them. So was Google. So was Facebook. So was Instagram. And so was probably a whole bunch of other ones, as the FBI is literally being paid by your tax dollars to censor stories that make powerful people look bad. This is what the FBI has been doing. There is no denying this. We have been talking about this for years, but now we have the proof. We have the receipts, as the Daily Mail is reporting with a lot of other news outlets, that it was the FBI that, by the way, knew the Hunter Biden story was real. They interviewed Tony Bobulinski. They had a copy of the laptop. They had everything. They knew it was legitimate. They knew everything in there was real. So they decided to create an entire operation in order to make it look like it wasn't real, as we're finding out that Twitter was warned about an alleged hack and leak operation that was specifically going to be targeting Hunter Biden right before the story was censored. Again, the FBI knowingly spreading disinformation as they colluded with social media companies and censored stories that, of course, had a major effect on the election. We're specifically finding out about FBI agent Elvis Chan that had weekly meetings with many of these companies. This is a story that, of course, Mark Zuckerberg has confirmed a few weeks ago when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. This as Yoel Roth, the former head of trust and safety at Twitter, told that he believed the FBI when they told him about the hack and dump scheme involving Hunter Biden's laptop, which the FBI made up in a plot in order to try to discredit the story. Now, the Federal Bureau of Investigation's intervening, preemptively trying to stop legitimate, real, honest news reporting in order to help a political party win an election, shows you just how nefarious and far gone this larger intelligence agency has become when it is, of course, its main duty is to fight crime, not to actually create crime as they did. This as more and more there are stories after stories of just complicit behavior that doesn't protect and serve everyone, only of course the special ruling elites that bribe politicians and the intelligence agencies that control them, who live by a different set of rules and many times violate those rules for their own personal benefit, as Elon Musk is also claiming today that the FTX crypto exchange run by Sam Bankman-Fried donated as much as $1 billion to Democrats, not of course the original $60 million that was allegedly transferred over from a crypto exchange that looks like it robbed law-abiding innocent people of their life savings and money. Where's the FBI investigating, going after Sam Bankman-Fried? When's his arrest coming? Well, it hasn't happened since, and many people are saying it will never happen because of the large amount of money that was donated to, of course, political causes. This, as a lot of the money that was funneled by FTX was done through dark channels, and a lot of the money is not publicly traceable, showing you that there was a lot of very nefarious, disgusting, secretive, elusive behaviors happening at FTX that, of course, most likely also is connected to the intelligence agencies that have yet failed to have any kind of larger action against this larger Ponzi scheme on everyone. Now again, with the Twitter Files 2.0 expected to be released soon, what's going to be the next revelation? Well, I think it's fair to say that there's still a lot more nefarious, nasty, bad behavior happening behind the seat of power that we still do not even know about. We're also hearing how Elon Musk might soon put together a team of medical experts in order to fact-check everything that the government has been saying. And if this happens, finally, we could get some true, authentic information that, of course, the public has been deprived of from the last few years, that still some people are being punished for right now as we're speaking. Again, lots of insanity, lots of craziness, lots of people following orders, and I think that is absolutely ridiculous and crazy. And if you agree with me, share this video with your friends and family members. It is more imperative than ever. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way right now on lukeuncensored.com. See you there.